Hello, welcome to Project Ozone 3. This is a highly anticipated mod pack for me. Okay, anticipated may be a long way of putting it because this is my third or fourth time recording this episode because I've had some software issues. I'm going to state that this is, well, Project Ozone as a whole has been my favorite packs since I've started modded. Honestly, they're great. I'm not going to go into a huge detail. I'm just going to state that there's no other pack that has what Project Ozone does. In this pack, there are a ton, and I do mean a ton of quests, and they've changed things up. Normally, whenever you complete quests in any pack, you get items and loot chests, and your inventory gets full, and then your storages get full, and you have all this stuff sitting around that you can't do anything with, and you have no idea what to do with, or you can't use for some time, or by the time you get it, you've already gotten past the point where you need it. So they've changed it here. Yes, there are some quests, very few, that give you items. For the most part, they always give you this. It's called RAK. Random Act of Kindness. It's a throwback to the other Project Ozone packs because the first quest in the book has always been a random act of kindness that gives you diamond and sapling, in this case dirt, but it's how you start your pack every time. All you do is click and claim. Now we've got our first couple of rack. All the way through the pack, with the exception of a few, like over here in the sieve and up here in the right-clicking, and I believe for Wood Age, you'll get extra items, but for the most part, you get RAK for every quest. There are a ton of quests. There's a lot of gating in the quests, so you have to get through at least a certain amount of one section before you can even unlock the next one. And it's not linear. Like, you can bounce back and forth because sometimes you can get around one gate to open up something further down the line, but then you need to go back. In this pack and in this playthrough, I'm planning on getting this, the normal mode 100% achievement. I'm going to work toward that. When Titan and Kappa mode come out, I'd love to try there, because the Kappa mode and Titan mode are much harder, with much harder gates on everything and much harder recipes. So it's a little more of a test of how well you can automate things. But for right now, the RAK you're going to get everywhere. You use them in the reward shop here. It's a microtransaction type. You know, you can save them up. You can get, hey, look, 5 and get you a basic loot chest. Then, 10 will get you the good one, and greater, epic, and legendary for 80. And then you can get the random one for 60. Now, these have a cooldown. So if you buy one, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can buy another one. And of course, if there's an update, you can reload your quests. There are some totems here. I don't recommend buying the totems, okay? Yes, it's 64 for night vision. But right now, having night vision is not that important. And having an ability active means that you're constantly draining hunger and saturation. So, for right now, ignore the fact that the totems are there, especially this one. 768. It takes 83 full player levels to be able to activate that. So, you have to have 84 levels on you. Later on, that won't be a problem. You won't even bat an eyelash at it. But for right now, it's a little bit much. The Creative Dungeon Locator is great for when we get to other planets. The Rhino Shield, never even gotten it. I honestly don't know if it's good or not. I know it says it's unbreakable. It's from Erebus. And plus 1,000% speed. That's kind of ridiculous, and you're on a skyblock, so I hope you build your pathways wide. The sword, however, is decent. Yes, it needs 100 rack and 200 blaze rods. But the sword is decent. I mean, I'm not really going to be interested in it because it has, you know, auto smelt and smite, which is, I mean, it's unbreakable. It's got 8 attack damage. But we have tankers. So, I'd have to get that one and then get the whole line down and see how good the last one is. But right now, we're here in Alpha and working toward the Wood Age. So, oh, and you're going to hear that every time you complete a quest. So, for those who have not worked on a Garden of Glass before, a couple of things here. One, we start with the Open Computers Manual and the Better Questing Guide. Both of those are going to take a flying leap. Because I have Better Questing bound to the keypad 5. By default, it's on Grave. Grave is also your vein miner, so you're going to want to separate those in the options here under controls. You can either search it by category, or you can just scroll down and you'll find them really quick. I mean, the Better Questing is literally one of the first ones down here. Right here. Better Questing. I just changed mine to numpad 5. It's not used with anything else. You will start with Alexica Botania. Do not worry about Botania. It is gated behind Lordcraft, which is gated behind something else. It's going to be a while before Botania comes into play. You don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna need this. And now you will start with an ability bottle. It will have a random ability, and you will have enough levels to be able to activate that ability. So in this case, it's Magnetize. I'm actually going to use this even though it uses Hunger constantly, because of the fact that Magnetize is really good to have. That will allow me to just get things a little bit easier instead of having them fall into the void. Now, I went ahead and I have an auto clicker, so you won't be able to do this quite as fast as I can, but you just shift and right click on the dirt and you will be able to get pebbles, which we're going to need for the Stone Age thing, plus we're going to need cobblestone. You don't want to build out of wood if you can avoid it, because there are a lot of mobs that will start fires. And plus, throwing a torch on the ground or having blaze powder fall on the ground will start a fire. So, you're going to have to watch out for that. Give me just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My throat was a little out of it. For me, I have a auto clicker, so I can just set it to like 100 clicks per second and just get myself some stone. Now, once you've got some stone, there we go. Once you've got some stone, you can just hover over one of them and hit Shift K, and it will compress it all into cobblestone for you. Makes it a lot easier. If you have leftover pebbles in your inventory, you can just put them together and then just hit K again, and there you go. Simple and easy. The other thing we are going to need is a ton of wood. Ow. I kind of figured that was going to happen. Hit Grave so I can just vein mine this tree. There we go. And there's going to be saplings falling everywhere. Bingo. And I got actually a few extra of those because of the Magnetize ability. Now, I did say that is going to tear through your hunger. So, if you did get something like Magnetize, hey, that's awesome, and it'll come in really handy. But be careful, because it will cost you. Especially with the fact that Vein Miner also eats through your hunger. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and make a crate from actually Additions. Really simple to make, actually. Just make the wood casing. And of course, that gives you an actually additions book, which I'll end up throwing away because I don't need it. It just takes 4 chests, and there we go. Now, you'll want to place this right next to and attached to your crafting station, because now anything you throw in here you'll be able to access just like that. So you have basically your little beginner, you know, auto crafting, basically. I call it that because, like, say, I need the casings for those. So, like the wood casing, right? Hover over it and hit A. Oh. It would help if I didn't have that blinking. There we go. Hit A. That'll add it over here on the left. I'll come down here and I'll type in crate, right? So I can just hover over that and hit A. Now if I need to make these, I can just, boom. Really simple. As long as you have the supplies over here, it'll automatically go to this. I did add those because I'll probably be making quite a few small storage crates until I get a little bit better storage together, which won't be too far down the line. Now, one of the first things I want to do is get some more wood and then expand this platform fairly quickly. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a crook, because going to need to do the whole crooking the tree for string, you know. There we go. There's some leaves, or some worms that I can infest the next tree with. Plant another tree. Yes, I know there's a lot of saplings falling off the edge right now, but I'm not too worried about it because saplings will never be an issue. Okay, so this is looks like a small tree. So that's actually just fine for this particular reason. So just back up a little bit here and hit one of these top leaves. There we go. And those will spread out fairly quickly and just, you know, create infested leaves. I'm going to take these. I'm going to make a furnace. Place the furnace down right here. Yeah. Right clicking is done. That was done a while ago. Take out some wood. I'm going to turn... Yeah, 36 sounds good. And that'll leave me some wood and some planks. Which is important because I'm going to need at least one, but probably both crooks to... Oh well, lost a little bit of string. As you can tell, my hunger has gone severely down. Like I said, having one of those active, it's gonna hurt a little. So as soon as this piece is done, it's got a little bit more to go. So gonna quick grow another tree. See if I can grab myself at least one more apple to work with here. If there was another apple, it just fell into the void. Oh, there we go. I got another apple. So I can take these 3 apples, 1 sapling, and anyone who's done anything with Pam's Harvest Craft will recognize an apple sapling right off the bat. I'm also going to grab 1 extra piece of dirt, because that there, while great for growing regular trees, will make you have large ones constantly, will stop you from being able to grow regular trees, like the Pam's Harvest Craft ones, because of where it's sitting. So what I'm going to do is just build out just a couple of blocks like this, place a single block of dirt, and then the Pam's Harvest Craft. Now, in this mod pack, your twerk works on apples. So, congratulations for never needing to worry about food again. The other thing we have in here is actually additions, tiny charcoal. So efficiency has been reached. Actually, I'm going to take 3 of those back, because that way I can keep 3. Actually, I'll just keep an apple sapling around, because I'm going to need that shortly. There we go. Food no longer a problem. These come from one of the most OP mods that you can have for an early game, Tiny Progressions. If you look at it, I have gone through the pack and I have looked at quite a few things. And Tiny Progressions has a lot of really overpowered stuff. Like, right here, you've got just like the stone hammer. This is something that's really easy to make, right? It's a little bit of hardened stone, some string, and some sticks. Hardened stone is just sand, cobblestone, clay, and a piece of iron. This allows you to make steel. That's simple. Steel. And it doesn't use durability on this or anything, so it's just steel. And obsidian dust. Right off the bat. Just oh yeah, and the cobblestone here that has the quotes on it is actually what they call a secret block. I'm not sure if they've changed that or not. I'll look into it a little bit later and let you know. There is the sugarcane tools, which the one that I like is the sugarcane sword. It's great because the sugarcane rod is 2 blocks of compressed sugarcane. You get 4 of them. It's great. Like this one right here, it's the diamond sugarcane sword. It's funny because it's just sugarcane, but it is so strong for an early game sword. There's the one that I like though. For some reason in this pack it has them backwards. Normally it's this one has 10.5 damage, but in this case it's the iron one that has the 10.5 damage and the diamond one is lower. But you've got so many early game just well, anyway, I'm literally blathering on about tiny progressions, where tiny progressions is going to be something that I focus on a little bit later, although there is one thing I'd like to get as soon as possible. Where's the bag? Watering can would be nice, but tin and an inferium watering can. I will be working toward getting the quantum bag. For that, I've always liked the quantum storage mod, and these are fairly easy. The iron chest mods are decent, and like iron, gold chests, they hold a decent amount. This is basically the same thing, except they're called storage crates, and they actually keep their inventory when you break them. So they're like the immersive engineering chests, only much larger. You go from iron, gold, diamond, and then quantum, which is just iron around the diamond one with 3 pieces of obsidian, and the quantum storage unit will hold 2 billion of an item. So, kind of worth it. The other one being the quantum bag. Now this is basically a diamond storage crate, which is a very large storage crate that you can open and close in your inventory. It's very handy. So I'm going to be working toward that fairly soon. But for right now, I've got food. Got charcoal being made. I've got a little bit of stone here, which I'm going to change. So I'm going to get a little bit more stone real quick, and then I'm going to start with the building. And I will be back with you in just a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, my throat has been bothering me. I did a little bit of cobblestone gathering, as you can tell, just 12 stacks. Finished cooking up a little bit more charcoal. Nothing too major. Now, I did build the Tinkerer's things. I threw them together real quick, and I went ahead and made some patterns. One of the main things I wanted to say is that in this pack, you're going to want to focus on Tinkerers a little bit in the early game, because things like, you know, your chisel, which you're in a skyblock, you've got limited resources, chisel is going to make the difference. So a chisel, and this is a newer item. I've never seen it in Tinkerers before. It's called a sledgehammer. It is the hammer you're used to making for Ex Nihilo, only it's Tinkerers, which means, hey, you can repair it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make the sledge. I was doing the purple there. So I'm going to go ahead and make this out of cobblestone and wood. Because at the moment, cobblestone and wood is all I have access to. So remember, you can always upgrade parts later. So Gonna need a tool rod. And gonna need a binding. Probably not gonna have the greatest durability, but we'll see. There's the sledgehammer. 104 durability, it's not bad. But it's one that we don't have to keep rebuilding every time it breaks. So that's a win. The other thing I'm going to make right off the bat is a chisel. And yes, I know I could tab through the top. I just wasn't thinking about it. So, unlike most of the time when you see someone starting up in Tinkerers, I don't make, you know, the other specific items, you know, pickaxe, shovel, hatchet. Although I probably should make myself a mattock. Mainly because of the fact that I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work with agricraft. So for that, I will need a hoe. And I don't want to have to keep making new hoes, so in this case, I'll just throw together a mattock, and I'll upgrade parts as I need to. It doesn't have very good durability, but it will self-repair, which is a good thing. So right now I'm going to take out one stack, and I'm just going to go ahead and chisel this into... I'm going to do something nice and flat. Let's just do dent, because at least this way it'll be a nice connected pattern and it won't look so bad. Now if only Tinkerers had a builder's wand, right? Maybe. I always wondered if Tinkerers was going to have a hammer, and now they do. I mean, before you could do like a compressed diamond hammer or one of those, and you could actually get the you know, diamond hammer version of the compressum hammer or the other one. Well, now we have the sledgehammer, which is a little bit nicer. You don't have to add a modifier to it. It is there. I mean, yeah, that's not going to break that. So I am going to need a pickaxe after all. I guess. Okay, sorry about that awkward pause there. A little bit of a hiccup in the recording software. Probably not going to use it a whole lot, but at least now I have it. It is a good idea to build the base out of half slabs, but I probably won't be building too much of it out of half slabs. I'll just be making sure to watch my light levels. Around your initial spawn, you don't have to worry about it, because for, I believe, it is 16 blocks from the spawn block, no mobs can spawn. So this is your spawn block. So 16 blocks in every direction, it forms a circle around. You are completely safe from mob spawns, even if you have this place covered in a dark room. Nothing will be able to spawn here. That also counts in height, I believe. So you've got to be careful about that. That'll be it for today. What I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to do a little bit of expansion. Not really much in the way of progression, but I'm going to get things ready so that I have a nice, suitable amount of things to do, in the short amount I set aside for myself to do them in. But for now, got Tinkerer's tools, you know, ready to go. Progression started. Tomorrow, I'm going to have power. Have a good day.